今日もお疲れ様でした。英語で国内ニュースです。優しい英語で今日の出来事をお届けします。
A European intelligence report warns Russia faces a potential explosive banking crisis. It highlights that Russian banks are burdened by the wartime economy, with worsening loans and rising household debt. This makes them vulnerable to further Western sanctions. However, one expert believes state control and defense spending will likely prevent an immediate financial crisis.
On July 7th, long-term interest rates increased in the bond market. The yield on Japan's benchmark 10-year government bond rose to 2.85%. This is the highest level in approximately 29 years, not seen since May 1997. This rise indicates market reactions to various economic factors.
Shizuoka Prefecture's Governor Suzuki announced on July 7th that he will approve the start of construction for the linear Chuo Shinkansen within the prefecture. This decision follows his intention to sign a natural environment preservation agreement with JR Tokai, a necessary condition for the project to proceed.
Cases of hand, foot, and mouth disease, which mainly affects children, are increasing nationwide. Currently, 15 prefectures have exceeded the alert level for this illness. Experts are urging the public to practice thorough hand washing. They believe an outbreak is underway and emphasize the importance of hygiene to prevent further spread.
On July 7th, the Minister of Economy, Trade and Industry, Akazawa Ryose, announced plans to consider establishing strategic reserves for naphtha. This move aims to ensure stable supply of the petroleum product, which faces supply concerns due to the worsening situation in the Middle East. Naphtha is crucial for plastics and other industries.
3 individuals, including a former director of a patient support group, have been arrested on suspicion of illegally brokering overseas organ transplants and receiving payment. One suspect, previously sentenced for unauthorized organ brokering in Belarus, was reportedly arranging transplants in Cambodia while out on bail. Police are investigating the alleged illegal activities.
Rapper D.O, identified as Kimizuka Gio, 48, has been arrested in Tokyo's Shinjuku ward. He is suspected of possessing small amounts of dried cannabis and cocaine on a street in April. Police discovered the drugs during a routine questioning. Kimizuka denies the charges, claiming the drugs were not his. Authorities are investigating the source.
In the FIFA World Cup North America tournament, Belgium defeated the United States 4-1 in the second round of the knockout stage. Charles de Ketelaere scored 2 goals, sending Belgium to the quarterfinals for the first time in 2 tournaments. This result means all host nations have now been eliminated in the second round.
A groundbreaking court ruling concerns a large-scale solar power plant in Nara Prefecture. The Osaka High Court revoked its development permit, citing insufficient consideration of heavy rain risks. Nara Prefecture will not appeal, but the developer has appealed to the Supreme Court. This ongoing case highlights balancing renewable energy development with local disaster prevention efforts.
次は社会のニュースです。
The Liberal Democratic Party and Nippon Ishin are reviewing medical co-payments for people over 70. They plan to raise the age for 20% or 30% payments based on income and revise income thresholds. A framework for these changes, including a roadmap, is expected to be finalized by the end of the year.
A former nursing home employee in Ibaraki was sentenced to 20 years in prison. Emi Akama was accused of killing 2 residents by injecting air into their IVs in 2020. The Mito District Court, acquitted her of one murder charge, stating insufficient evidence linked her to that specific death. Prosecutors had sought life imprisonment for her.
Shizuoka Governor Suzuki has approved the construction of the linear Chuo Shinkansen within the prefecture. At a prefectural assembly meeting on July 7th, he announced plans to sign a natural environment conservation agreement with JR Tokai. This agreement is a necessary step before construction can begin on the high-speed rail line.
3 men, including 66-year-old Hitoshi Kikuchi, were arrested on July 7th. They are suspected of illegally brokering paid organ transplants in Cambodia. Authorities believe these actions violate Japan's organ transplant law. The Metropolitan Police Department is investigating the case further.
Executives from a Tokyo equipment company are under investigation for allegedly bribing Cambodian public officials. They are accused of paying about 110,000 yen to speed up registration procedures for selling a subsidiary in Cambodia. This act may violate Japan's unfair competition prevention law, which prohibits bribery to foreign officials.
2 men, Shoki Ishikawa and Tomonari Yachi, received 4.5-year prison sentences from the Nagoya District Court. They were convicted as kakeiko in an international fraud ring based in Myanmar. Impersonating police, they tricked 3 men into sending 15.85 million yen last year, falsely claiming arrest warrants via phone calls.
Authorities have identified a body found in the sea off Yokohama as a 45-year-old Chinese woman. Police are now investigating the incident as a case of abandonment. Further details concerning the circumstances of her death and the investigation are expected to be released soon.
Powerful Typhoon number 9 is approaching Okinawa, expected to bring winds up to 250 kilometers per hour, similar to a bullet train. From July 10th to 11th, residents should prepare for destructive winds. This typhoon might also strengthen the Pacific high-pressure system, potentially causing dangerous heat in Honshu.
Student suicides from January to May this year have exceeded the record set during the same period in 2025. Children's Policy Minister Hitoshi Kikawada expressed deep concern. To address this, 100,000 cards and stickers with QR codes for counseling services will be distributed at places like movie theaters before summer vacation.
次はビジネス関連のニュースです。
Shizuoka Governor Suzuki approved construction for the Chuo Shinkansen Maglev's Shizuoka section on July 7th. This marks a major turning point. The governor had waited for explanations to residents and legal procedures. After meeting JR Tokai's president last week, he said some understanding had progressed. JR Tokai submitted all required legal documents on July 3rd.
Japan's long-term interest rates briefly climbed to 2.850% on July 7th. This is the highest level seen in 29 years. The increase is largely driven by market concerns regarding the government's aggressive fiscal policy, which suggests a path of increased public spending.
Asahi Group Foods announced on July 7th price increases for 75 Wakoto baby food items. Effective November 2nd, retail prices will rise by 15% to 24%. The company attributes this to soaring raw material costs. For example, Gugu Kitchen Chicken Zosui will increase from 149 yen to 171 yen.
Bill deliberations resumed in Japan's House of Councilors on July 7th. The Cabinet Committee started discussing a bill to penalize damaging the Japanese national flag, 4 parties, including the Liberal Democratic Party and Nippon Ishin no Kai, jointly submitted this proposed legislation.
On July 7th, opposition party leaders from both houses of the Diet agreed not to readily approve an extension of the current parliamentary session. They also confirmed their demand for an intensive budget committee deliberation in the House of Representatives, with Prime Minister Sanae Takaichi in attendance.
The government approved the Personal Information Protection Commission's annual report on July 7th. Last fiscal year, administrative bodies reported over 2,200 cases of personal information leaks or losses. This marks the second consecutive year of increase since reporting became mandatory, reflecting a growing issue.
Noto Airport was renamed Noto Satoyama Pokémon with You Airport on July 7th, becoming the world's first Pokémon-themed airport. This new name will be used for 3 years. An opening ceremony with Pikachu celebrated the event. The Pokémon with You Foundation supported the change to aid the disaster-hit Noto region's recovery.
The Liberal Democratic Party and Nippon Ishin no Kai are reviewing medical co-payments for people 70 and older. Both parties aim to create a roadmap by year-end. This review includes potentially raising the eligible age for 20% or 30% co-payments based on income and revising current income thresholds.
On July 7th, 2 Chinese Coast Guard ships entered Japanese territorial waters off the Senkaku Islands. The vessels navigated within the waters for about 7 hours before leaving. The Japan Coast Guard is continuing its warnings and monitoring efforts to prevent any further re-entry into Japanese territory.
では、スポーツニュースをお伝えします。
Shohei Ohtani hit his 19th home run of the season, a 2-run shot for the Dodgers against the Rockies. This was his 299th career MLB homer, putting him just 1 away from 300. Ohtani had a great game, getting 3 hits and 4 RBIs, helping the Dodgers win 8-7 in extra innings.
The NBA Clippers officially announced the acquisition of Rui Hachimura. Hachimura, previously with the Lakers, chose the Clippers to remain in Los Angeles. Clippers president Lawrence Frank praised Hachimura's elite three-point shooting, efficient mid-range scoring, and strong defense, stating he will strengthen the team. Hachimura signed a 2-year, $28 million contract.
Kazuma Okamoto of the Blue Jays hit his 20th home run of the season against the Giants. This was his first homer since turning 30 and his first in 8 games. He now ties Munetaka Murakami for the second most home runs by a Japanese player in their MLB debut season. Okamoto was also named the American League Rookie of the Month for June.
Cristiano Ronaldo's final World Cup ended in tears as Portugal lost 1-0 to Spain in the round of 16. Spain scored in the second half's injury time. The 41-year-old forward, playing in his 6th World Cup, expressed sadness but felt he gave his all. He has not yet decided on his international retirement.
U.S. player Folarin Balogun started against Belgium in the World Cup round of 16. His red card suspension was controversially suspended by FIFA, despite widespread criticism. This decision, reportedly influenced by U.S. President Donald Trump, has raised questions about fairness. Balogun received a mixed reception of cheers and boos from the crowd.
Belgium defeated the United States 4-1 in the World Cup round of 16, eliminating all 3 co-hosting nations. Folarin Balogun, whose red card suspension was controversially lifted, started for the U.S. Charles de Ketelaere scored twice for Belgium, contributing to their dominant victory and securing their spot in the quarterfinals.
Spain defeated neighboring Portugal 1-0 in a closely contested World Cup round of 16 match. Spain secured their spot in the quarterfinals with a crucial goal scored in second-half injury time. This intense match also marked the end of 41-year-old superstar Cristiano Ronaldo's journey in his final World Cup.
Tohoku Gakuen University's soccer club has been suspended after a male student, a club member, was arrested on suspicion of possessing cannabis. The university stated it is taking this serious incident very gravely. The club was scheduled to participate in the Emperor's Cup, but its involvement is now uncertain.
The Asian Games, hosted in Aichi Prefecture this fall, are causing various local event changes. The Tahara Festival has been shortened and postponed due to security concerns and the use of venues for the games. Other impacts include cancellations of fireworks displays and changes to high school baseball stadium schedules.
続いて、国際ニュースです。
The U.S. State Department expressed serious concern on July 6th about China's suspected submarine missile test. They called China's rapid nuclear buildup a major worry for the world. A spokesperson said China's actions go against U.S. efforts to prevent nuclear spread. The U.S. also reaffirmed its strong defense commitments to allies.
Ukraine's emergency service announced on July 6th that Russian attacks on Kyiv and its surrounding area killed 25 people and injured over 80. President Zelensky condemned Russia's tactics, saying they aim to inflict maximum suffering. He also noted that U.S. President Trump recently praised Ukraine's long-range drone attacks on Russia during a phone call.
A CNN analysis shows Russia faces a widespread fuel crisis with shortages in nearly all regions. This is mainly due to intense Ukrainian drone attacks on Russian refineries. Many gas stations now limit fuel sales. President Putin downplayed the crisis on July 5th, but experts say the current situation is worse than past shortages.
The U.S. Trump administration will attend the July 7 to 8 NATO summit, which Secretary of State Rubio called the most important in NATO history. The U.S. is increasingly dissatisfied with European allies. Divisions have deepened, especially after U.S. attacks on Iran. This summit highlights the core difficulties of maintaining alliances among nations with varying interests.
U.S. media reported Iran's Revolutionary Guard launched missiles at 2 merchant ships near the Strait of Hormuz on July 7th. This follows a similar attack last month in the area, which led to U.S. military retaliation against Iran. The latest incident could further escalate tensions.
North Korea is strengthening its navy, expanding strategic missile capabilities from land to sea. This includes new destroyers capable of launching strategic cruise missiles. Leader Kim Jong-un recently inspected a test showing a national effort to boost naval power. This aims to diversify deterrence and could impact Japan-U.S. defense strategies.
On July 7th, 2 China Coast Guard vessels repeatedly entered Japan's territorial waters near the Senkaku Islands in Okinawa. They sailed for about 7 hours before leaving. The Japan Coast Guard is continuing to issue warnings and monitor the area to prevent further intrusions. Such incidents routinely raise tensions between the two nations.
The funeral for Iran's former supreme leader Khamenei, who reportedly died from U.S. and Israeli attacks, entered its 3rd day. A massive procession in Tehran drew huge crowds. Mourners expressed deep sorrow, but stronger anti-U.S. and anti-Israel sentiments were also evident. Many, including children, called for revenge, amplifying these feelings.
続いて、文化・芸能ニュースをお伝えします。
Miki Aijima, former SMAP manager, is now J-pop executive producer at Happy Japan, the company behind BTS. She will develop new Japanese entertainment, combining her media expertise with Happy Japan's resources. She will also continue her role at Qlin. This appointment is seen as a key step for Happy Japan to create unique J-pop content and new intellectual properties.
Veteran manga artist Masashi Ueda, 79, has ended all 3 of his long-running serialized works. These include Otoboke Bucho Diary, 45 years, and Carriage-kun, 46 years. 3 publishers made an unusual joint statement, thanking him for his great contributions. Ueda is famous for popular 4-panel manga like Kobo-chan.
Actor Koichi Yamamoto passed away on January 29th this year due to lung cancer. His family confirmed the news on July 6th. Yamamoto had been living with a chronic illness for about 3 years. He was active in theater, film, and TV dramas. He also worked as a reporter for TV Asahi's afternoon show starting in 1972.
A new survey shows that bookstores across Japan saw their sales drop by 20% over the last decade. Teikoku Databank reported this on July 6th, looking at fiscal year 2025 compared to 10 years ago. Since 2016, 610 bookstores have either gone out of business or closed down, showing a tough market.
The popular comedy show Arabikiden is returning to TV after about 2 years. It will air as a special on TBS on July 20th at 10 p.m. The show features unique performers and has helped launch many comedy stars since its original run. Over 1,000 acts applied for this special, promising fresh and rough-cut talent.
Weekly Shonen Jump issue 33, out July 13th, includes a special one-piece card causing an unusual scramble. The publisher printed 500,000 extra copies, but pre-sales are already sold out. Many stores are now holding lotteries for purchases to stop reselling. This special card celebrates the manga's 29th anniversary.
TBS announced its hit drama, Vivant, will get a 2-season sequel starting July 26th. The TBS president aims for it to be the year's top-rated drama and achieve record streaming numbers. The sequel, filmed internationally and using AI, promises a larger scale. The first Vivant had 14.3% average ratings, higher than this year's current top drama.
Noritake Kinashi from the comedy duo Tunnels denied rumors of separation from his wife Narumi Yasuda at an event on July 7th. He stated he is against separation. Kinashi joked that his personal plans depend on his wife, while Tunnel's activities depend on his partner Takaaki Ishibashi's health. He hinted at a Tunnel's live show next year. If Ishibashi is well,
Shogi player Takumi Ito, a 2-crown holder, won the first game of the Osho Sen against Sota Fuji, the Osho title holder. The match took place on July 4th and 5th. Ito's victory marks a strong start for his first Osho title challenge. This loss also ended Fuji's impressive 14-game winning streak in official matches, which began in March.
今日のニュースは以上です。最後までお付き合いいただき、ありがとうございました。おやすみなさい。